that cancer can increase, that cancer, yes, can increase, and therefore mesenchyme down, it is the immune system. We will perhaps later on, we will discuss it once more. I know it is rather difficult, but only, and here you see RES, cellular defense down, and arachidonic acid high. That means there are microinflammation are present. That is here our substance for the microinflammation. You must keep it in mind. And yes, perhaps you have arachidonic acid 800, for example. And what can you do? Yeah, where are they? The microinflammation, where are they? That is conventional medicine, but we can decide it. And then all the positive tested organ preparations, liver and colon and lungs and so weiter, you put arachidonic acid here in the honeycomb, and then you check again the positive tested organs. You have understood? Once more, arachidonic has tested in a high amplification that there must be microinflammation. Must be, but where? Where? And so the positive tested organ preparation here in the honeycomb, arachidonic, and then I check the positive tested preparation, and suddenly with prostate probes the indicator goes up. And then you are sure the correlation test, always 25, don't forget it, that is a correlation test, 25, and then, isn't it wonderful? You can check where are the microinflammation. It is mainly in the colon and prostate, but other, it is possible that in other preparation or organ, that microinflammation take place. That's okay. And I think it is a very, very possibility, very good possibility to check where are microinflammation. And yes, and now you have you have the answer. It is in the prostate, and what do you do? What do you do? Any suggestion? What you can do? Yes. The most important remedy is omega-3 to reduce microinflammation. Omega-3, and we have other ones. For example, curcuma is very important too, to reduce inflammation. And don't forget prostate, zinc. Prostate is the highest, is the organ with the highest level of zinc. Of all organs, the body needs zinc for the sperma, and therefore you will find it. But you must check always the system diagnosis. That is nothing with cancer tested. No, that is our system tested. And here, dysbiosis. Dysbiosis, you know. And when there is a dysbiosis, every time you have a high pH, and then you have putrefaction. And putrefaction is the first step to colon, to cancer of the intestines. Yes, dysbiosis. And then here, as we mentioned yesterday, SIGA. You can test it. very easily with the new test set, but it is in the test set 2. And Clostridia, crossform, Clostridia, that is the problem. That is a key substance. They transform bile acids into carcinogens. We know exactly how it works. Exactly, really. That's not my idea. But remember these, and that is enough, I think. Yes, you know. And here, this little distance, the transit, that's the problem for chronic microinflammation. Not mutation, we are not dealing with mutation. And yeah, cancer, we have and here. And that is our problem from today and tomorrow. When you have a high pH in the intestine, then there will emerge a lot of ammonia. And ammonia goes to the liver, and from the liver, and it cannot be secreted by the liver, and then it goes up to the brain. And here, the ammonia is very, very neurotoxic. And that is one reason, perhaps the main reason, for the morbus Alzheimer. Not dementia, Alzheimer. Perhaps here we have a key to deal with Alzheimer. Here, ammonia. And as I mentioned yesterday, that you have to answer the question, why is Alzheimer only widespread in industrialized countries? Why? Why? Industrialized, but because of our foodstuff, we have too much proteins. When you eat too much proteins, you have a lot of ammonia. And then there's a putrefaction in the intestines, and when there's putrefaction, ammonia will be produced, and then here up to the brain. And now the solution of the question some minutes ago. When you take alkaline powder every day, alkaline powder, and then the and then the intestine, they will get in an alkaline range too. When you every day alkaline powder, and then the pH of the intestine will increase. You will be increase. And but when there is a high pH in the intestine, then ammonia will immediately go into the blood. But when the pH is in the acidic range, then there are produced compounds which are not soluble. They're not soluble, and so ammonia will secrete it with the feces, with the stool. Once more, because that is a decisive question. Don't take alkaline powder when there is cancer present, or there is a tendency to cancer, or that is after surgery. Don't take it, because then the possibility is present that the ammonia is soluble, and soluble is a very small molecule, ammonia, very small one, and it goes through the mucous membranes of the intestines, and then in the blood and in the liver and in the brain. But in an acidic range, once more, acidic range, there will be produced compounds which are not soluble. Ammonia with sulfates, ammonia with phosphates, ammonia with and so on, and down by the feces. And therefore, you have to take the dextrogyrate lactic acid. Now, 3 times a day, 30 drops in a glass of water, and then and that you must do. Every patient with cancer has to take AMS, the lactic acid. Yes. When you have any questions?
Right now, there is some factory produce the machine. They will produce some alkaline water. Do you suggest drinking that kind of water?
Alkaline water?
Yeah.
No, it is forbidden.
It's a so strange theory.
胃酸哦，胃酸。
For a healthy person, you can take the powder, an alkaline powder. It doesn't harm you. But when there's cancer present, and we will discuss the next problem, because every cancer cell produces a high amount of acids, a high amount, and we must neutralize the acids of the cancer. But we will speak about it here. But you must keep in mind, no alkaline powder. Instead of that, IMS. But we will speak about it again and again because it is so important. Yes, and here again, acidosis. I have here a lot points, but here again, natural killer cells, the NK cells, they will be reduction of the activity, or I say they become paralyzed. The natural killer cell, and therefore, no chemo and radiation therapy without anti-acidity treatment. Anti-acidity treatment. Lactic acid is obligatory, and so on. This is your own. We must speak only that you have a hint to our next issue. Every tumor cell has an anaerobic metabolism, and I will afterwards I will tell you. But keep in mind, anaerobic metabolism without oxygen. The metabolism takes place.
So that's the reason why, according to Dr. Wang's question, some businessmen will suggest, or even media will suggest people, the public, to take alkaline water. That's for handle the
Yes.
acidosis.
Yes. But we will discuss it in a broader sense, but later. At the moment, it is yes. And here, trace elements, global foci. Here, global foci. Here, our dentist. And yes, it is here. No interference in the jaw and head region in connection with cancer. No. And patient, he had, they detected cancer, colon cancer, and then the dentist detected here a root-filled tooth. And he said, oh, cancer, we must extract the 36 tooth. No, don't do that. Don't do that. You do a lot of harm in connection with cancer, in connection with surgery. Because the immune system has to deal with the cancer, and not here with the tooth. Not with the tooth. With cancer surgery before and afterwards. And here this patient, he extracted the dentist, here the root-filled tooth, and then the patient would not recover because after the extraction, pains, because the immune system had to fight against the cancer and against the tooth, and therefore you have not a primary healing of the tooth, but only a secondary, and it may last over weeks, and you every day the patient had to go to the dentist because of the not healing wound. And immune system. The most important element is selenium. Selenium, and everybody, without testing, you must prescribe him selenium before chemotherapy, and in very high doses. That means three days before the chemo will start, 3 days before, you give him 3 tablets of 300 micrograms. That means 900 micrograms. And then the next day, that means 2 days before chemotherapy starts, you give him 600. That means 2 tablets. And then, in every day during the chemotherapy, every day 300. And then, before the next chemotherapy, 3 days before you start again with 900 micrograms. You must take this amount. It is a very high amount, I know, but it is necessary. 900, 3 days before. Keep that in mind. Not 100, not 200, 900. And you can avoid many side effects. I will show you some photos afterwards, what you can do. What you can do, and what you can avoid by selenium. Yes.
If the patient has gotten she has, one of my patients, she has target therapy for adenocarcinoma of lung CA, ARISA, and she has taken the ARISA every day. So what will the suggestion for the
ARISA?
daily?
What is ARISA?
ARISA is a chemotherapy target.
Yeah. Yes.
So what will be the suggested dosage for this kind of patients?
Yes, we do it generally. It doesn't matter which kind of cancer.
But she has to take a target, the chemotherapy every day,
Yes.
until
Yes. Then
she died.
Yeah. Then we here only 300 microgram. We start at the beginning. We start at the always with 900 micrograms, and then the next day 600 and so on, and then 300. Then when there is a target therapy, 300 any case. You have to continue. And then you have selenium, zinc, B6 and magnesium, you know, from yesterday, with every transposition of hormones and so on, more than 200 enzymes they need always magnesium and B6. B6. This is central. And then here, dysbiosis, yeah, you here decay, and decay is always connected with an auto-intoxication. Auto-intoxication. Yes, yes. And you see now, here's a sigmoid now. You have more than 60%. It is the end of the colon. Only here, that is the problematic part of the colon. And therefore here again, when there is a suspicion of colon degenerative processes, always test Clostridia. And I remember Clostridia, they are able to transform bile acids into carcinogens. Therefore, the Clostridia, they are so important. And because it is so easy to eliminate the Clostridia only by Ozovit. Is it available in, yes, here in Taiwan? Oh yes, it is available. You know, Clostridia are anaerobic, and with Ozovit it is very easy. There is oxygen in it, and it releases Ozovit in the intestine, oxygen, and Clostridia cannot survive with oxygen. We cannot survive without oxygen. And we are happy that Clostridia are so had such an affinity to oxygen that they die from it. And here, environmental heavy metals. Heavy metals, they are really overestimated. Don't argue always with amalgam. Don't argue with here all the other heavy metals. Yes, they have their significance, the heavy metals. But there are other possibilities that to harm the body. Heavy metals, what is their property? They can displace the anti-carcinogenic elements as selenium. And when you have no selenium, then you have no glutathione. Therefore, selenium is so important, because in the middle of the glutathione there is selenium. Selenium with amino acids. But selenium always, glutathione is in every cell of the body. Glutathione, and especially in the liver. In the liver, because that is the organ of detoxification. And therefore, and that is the problem of the heavy metals. The main problem, that they displace here selenium and so on. And instead of selenium, then you will find mercury or cadmium and so on. And then glutathione cannot work. So the most important property of the heavy metal is that they can displace here the trace elements. The trace element. But nevertheless, which heavy metal is mostly present? Which one? When you test, what do you think? Which heavy metal? Which?
Enemy.
That's it. It's cadmium. Cadmium. And where do you read cadmium? In which books? No, we will not, because they will not check cadmium. And when you don't check cadmium, you cannot find cadmium. Yes, that's it. It's idiotic, no? First place